There is something unusual about people who quietly build wealth over time. They are not obsessed with money. They are obsessed with freedom. That may sound like a small difference, but it changes almost every financial decision they make. Most people ask one question before they buy something. Can I afford it? People who build real wealth ask a different question. Does this increase my freedom or reduce it? That one shift changes everything. Imagine two people getting a raise in the same month. The first person decides it is finally time to upgrade life. A better car, a bigger apartment, more nights out, better clothes, more subscriptions, more monthly payments. The income went up, but the obligations went up with it. At first, everything feels great. It feels like progress. It feels like success. It feels like the hard work is finally paying off. But then life happens. A cut in income, a medical bill, a problem at work, an unexpected expense. And suddenly, the lifestyle that once looked like success starts to feel like a prison. Now imagine the second person. They also celebrated the raise. But they did something most people never do. They kept living almost the same way. They did not rush to upgrade everything. Instead, they automatically invested the difference every single month. Nobody noticed. Their friends still saw the same car, the same home, the same lifestyle. Some people may have even thought they were not enjoying life enough. What nobody could see was the wealth growing quietly in the background, year after year. While one person increased their lifestyle, the other increased their net worth. In the beginning, that difference looks small. After 5 years, it becomes noticeable. After 10 years, the two lives are completely different. One person still works because they have to. The other begins to work because they want to. That is why so many people confuse income with wealth. Making a lot of money does not automatically make you rich. Wealth is not how much enters your account every month. Wealth is how much remains yours after everything is paid. Think of it like a bucket being filled with water. Income is the water flowing in. Wealth is the water that stays in the bucket. If the bucket has a giant hole at the bottom, it does not matter how powerful the faucet is. It will never fill up. That is exactly how many people live. They spend decades trying to increase income without realizing that the real problem is not the size of the paycheck. It is the leaks. And those leaks rarely come from true necessity. They come from comparison, impulse, status, and the fear of looking like you are falling behind. That is why two people can earn the same amount of money and end up in completely different places. One keeps trying to look more successful. The other keeps trying to become more free. One buys proof of progress. The other builds actual progress. There is a famous idea in personal finance that captures this perfectly. People spend years buying things they do not need, with money they do not have, to impress people who do not even care. The first time you hear that, it sounds harsh, maybe even exaggerated, but if you look around honestly, it becomes difficult to ignore. How many purchases were truly necessary? And how many happened because someone wanted to feel like they were moving up in life? How many upgrades actually improved life in a meaningful way? And how many simply created more pressure? That is the uncomfortable truth. A huge part of financial behavior is not driven by logic. It is driven by emotion. And when emotion and money move together without awareness, the result is usually the same. More consumption, more anxiety, more payments, less freedom. The strange part is that many of these decisions look normal. Nobody feels dramatic when they upgrade a car a little too early. Nobody feels reckless when they increase rent because the new place looks more impressive. Nobody feels irresponsible buying something nice after getting a raise. That is what makes this trap so powerful. It does not look like a trap, it looks like progress. That is why the people who build real wealth often seem to think backwards. When most people make more money, they ask, "What can I buy now?" Wealth builders ask, "What can I protect now? What can I own later? What stress can I eliminate? What future options can I create? They understand that every financial decision is not just about today. It is about how much control they will have tomorrow. And control is the real prize, because the goal is not just to own more, it is to depend less, less on the next paycheck, less on the approval of others, less on keeping up appearances, less on a lifestyle that takes too much energy to maintain. That is why freedom matters more than image. Image is expensive. Freedom is powerful. Image needs to be fed constantly. Freedom gets stronger over time. Image looks impressive right away. Freedom looks boring for years and then changes your entire life. That is also why wealthy people often appear more patient than everyone else. They understand something most people ignore. Time matters more than speed. The person trying to look rich is always running. There is always a newer car, a better phone, a more expensive vacation, a more impressive version of success. The race never ends, but the person building freedom is in a different race, a quiet one, a private one, not against neighbors, not against co-workers, not against social media, against their former self. The goal is not to look better than other people. It is to become stronger than you were last year, to reduce stress, to increase stability, to create options. Because in the end, wealth is not about having everything. Wealth is about having choices. The choice to leave a bad job, the choice to take a break, the choice to say no to unnecessary debt, the choice to stop impressing people, the choice to live without the constant fear that one emergency will destroy everything. That is the luxury almost nobody sees. It does not stand out in photographs. It does not attract applause. It does not make strangers jealous. But it completely changes the quality of a person's life. And maybe that is exactly why it is so rare. Because it requires a decision that most people are not willing to make. The decision to trade visible success today for invisible freedom tomorrow. And when that decision is repeated for years, something extraordinary happens. Wealth stops being a distant dream. It becomes the natural result of hundreds of quiet choices made in the right direction. So the next time you are about to spend money, do not just ask the question most people ask. Do not stop at, "Can I afford it?" Ask the better question, "Does this increase my freedom or reduce it?" Because the people who build real wealth do not just think about money differently. They think about life differently. And that difference changes everything.